will spend a couple of minutes to establish why we started Wizklub and what's the genesis of this entire talk. So, look at the generation of kids who is going to the schools today and fast forward to 10 years, right? You'll be surprised to know that 70% of these school-going kids would be working on jobs that don't exist today, right? 70% of the kids, digest that for a moment, right? 70% of the kids who are going to school today would be working on jobs that don't exist today, right? How do you train people for something which doesn't even exist today? So what should these kids be learning, right? What should you be doing with these kids? And very clearly, if majority of them are going to be working on jobs that don't exist, we need to be doing something different with these kids compared to how the school system has been treating these kids or preparing these kids for jobs that didn't change for the last 50 years, right? So what is it that you need to do or these kids need to develop today so that they can succeed in a very uncertain but very, very exciting future? So let's look at what are the traits, what are the things which will change if someone has to work on a job which is totally new. Right? Any guesses, anything which come to your mind? First thing, they need to be solving new problems. Right? If a job is a new job, it will come with its own set of new problems to be solved, which means to say that you cannot just be memorizing steps to solve a problem and be successful in your jobs. You should be good at problem solving. Second thing which is going to happen is that you need to keep relearning what you are doing. Right? It's not just you learn once and for the next 10 years you just keep applying that. The entire knowledge repository relating to a particular job role will become obsolete in 2 years. So every 2 years, this generation of kids would need to completely learn the way to do the job all over again. Right? Which means to say that they need to be extremely smart at learning. You can't just memorize stuff and be done with it. You have to keep learning and learning smart so that you can connect with whatever you know already and be clear with whatever new changes are. Right? So you can't just memorize stuff. You have to learn the smart way. Third is there is an information overload. Right? All of us are living in this world which is so much of information. You guys are from press. You know the problems of fake news, right? Fake information. So in that kind of a world, how do you make sense of the world around you to make smart decisions? So that importance of skills like critical thinking so that you can figure out independently and make sense of the information saying, oh, this is useful information, this is right information, and this is what I'm going to use as a framework to make smart decisions, right? So in this kind of a world, these skills of smart learning, complex problem solving, smart decision making, critical thinking, extremely important. And unfortunately, when you look at things around you, in the school system, 9 out of 10 students who learn, they learn by rote memorization. They do maths problems by memorizing steps to solve a problem, which makes sure that they don't develop problem solving skills the right way. Right? And critical thinking as a facet itself doesn't even exist. You don't even get opportunities to exercise that in your school life, right? So, a long introduction to the problem statement, and that's where we said we need to do something about it. So we created a framework where we said all these skills, how can these skills be developed in a scientific and predictable manner so that these kids develop these skills as they are going through the schooling system. These kids are going to be irrelevant for the workforce if they don't develop these skills. And these skills are best developed in the first 13, 14 years of your life. Right? Like leading organizations like World Economic Forum, they talk about the top 10 skills in the future of jobs report, and 7 out of them are around complex problem solving, active learning, innovation, analytical thinking, ability to work with technology to create solutions. These are the kind of skills that are going to be extremely important irrespective of what job you're going to do. Right? So two things that we did, we said higher order thinking skills, which is a bunch of all of these skills. We call it as higher order thinking skills, analytical thinking, complex problem solving, critical thinking, logical thinking. All of these academically are called higher order thinking skills. And another big area saying how do you use technology to solve problems for you. We created structured programs and made sure that kids are developing these skills in a predictable manner year after year. That's what we brought to the world. Really excited to be part of Infinity Learn as we are going to be taking our solutions to more than 1 million kids going forward across the world. Really excited to be part of this journey.